Hey everyone, Ash here. Just a heads up, this video will contain spoilers for Power Rangers Beast Morphers Season 2, so if you don't want to be spoiled, click away right now because these episodes, as of recording this video, have yet to air in the US. So if you don't want to be spoiled, click away right now because things are gonna get big. Anyway guys, with that said, enjoy the review and I hope you guys stick around for the video. So Power Rangers Beast Morphers episode 10/episode 11 Intruder Alert was a really good episode, and I had a lot of fun watching it because this episode is just full of surprises, full of Easter eggs, full of cameos, full of legacy items and legacy references from the plus 25 years of Power Rangers. It's one hell of an episode and I had a lot of fun watching it, so let's talk about it in this review. So the episode opens up with the Rangers at Grid Battle Force getting a call from outer space or somewhere out in the world saying there's an impending threat coming, an alien force, someone called Ryjack, and they're on the way, and the Rangers are like, well, we better do something about that. And then after that, the alarms go off saying, hey, someone's outside trying to steal Morphex, and what we see is a silver space alien cop man trying to steal the Morphex, and the Rangers like, hey, you stop, and they fight him, he gets away. And they're like, who was that guy? Well, we better improve our security, let Ben and Betty do the job, which I'll get into the Ben and Betty stuff here. I mean, they have a gag in the episode. I mean, they have a good gag at the end, but it's Ben and Betty. If you know their stick, you know their stick. I mean, you either love them or hate them, Ben and Betty, and I'm very optimistic about them. I think they're fun characters, but I do get tired of talking about them because they just have a couple of jokes here and there. But anyways, on with the plot. So after that, we then cut to the crystal dimension where Evox is running out of energy because he got separated from Mayor Daniels, and then suddenly the real Ryjack appears in the cyber dimension, or the crystal dimension, whatever you want to call it, and he's like, hey, I'm Ryjack, or, oh, mate, I'm Ryjack, because I'm Cockney. I'm not going to do that voice, the whole thing, but I don't know who voices Ryjack, and I don't know who voices Chaku in this episode, because I couldn't see the credits, because they did the whole boxed in on the way I watched it, so I don't know who voices these characters. Maybe I'll find out eventually, once the credits are up on the wiki, or something like that, but I don't know who voices these characters, but something about Ryjack having a Cockney accent, I don't know, a lot of fun, because Power Ranger villains will either have an accent that grains your ears, or you get bored of, or you get sick of it. Something about Ryjack having a Cockney accent, being a rhino that's evil, I don't know, a lot of fun. So Ryjack shows up and he's like, hey, I want to get into that Ranger Vault and you guys can maybe help me out. I help you, you help me. And they're like, what can you do? He's like, I've got this reanimator, and he brings back Vargoyle, but not Vargoyle that we saw last season, Golden Vargoyle, and it's really cool to see Vargoyle back with Jamie Lennon voicing Vargoyle again, because he has a lot of fun with the character. I mean, because Jamie Lennon voices Steel, he voices Vargoyle, so two evil robots for one, and not two evil robots in this episode. Two characters voiced by the same people, and you get to see the different take they have on the character. But there's one scene that I freaking loved when Vargoyle got reanimated. As soon as he appears, you just hear Scrozzle giggling with glee and clapping his hands, so I just love that moment. Like, props to Campbell with that little giggle that he made Scrozzle do, especially the guy in the suit, because he's like jumping up and down and clapping his hands, so that giggle, that little glee of giggle that Campbell did for Scrozzle just made the moment even more funnier, just to see him move around in that suit. So I just love that moment. So Vargoyle is back, and Ryjack puts on a compliance collar on him, and you're probably wondering, Ash, what's a compliance collar? I have never heard of this item before. Well, I kind of forgot about it as well. It was an item used in Lost Galaxy many moons ago that Deviant used. I mean, I kind of forgot about it here and there, even though I've been watching Ranger Danger and listening to Ranger Danger. I kind of forgot what the item was, but hey, it's a nice little wink and a nod to something that we had like 20 plus seasons ago, which is really cool. So I did like that we're bringing back old stuff from the series. So the Rangers, we then cut back to Grid Battle Force, where Ben and Betty's security doesn't work. They take him away. We then cut to the opening, and Chaku is in the vault, and they catch him this time, and they put him in prison, saying, hey, we don't know what you are or what you're doing, and we're not going to let you explain yourself, so we're going to put you in Grid Battle Force jail. So they do that to him, and then they get a stress signal that the real Ryjack is back, and they're like, oh no, we caught the wrong guy. And Ryjack's like, hey, look what I can do, and he makes putties and Viveks, and this is the big oh shit moment you get in the episode, apart from Vargol coming back, because putties and Viveks are back, because Ryjack can make old enemies return from past Power Ranger seasons, so minions and villains, he can bring them back, which is really cool. And there's one thing that I really enjoyed about seeing the putties and the Viveks coming back. The Rangers didn't know what they were. They were like, ugh, what are those? They're gross looking. Ew. And I'm kind of glad they kind of didn't know what they were, because I'm pretty sure if the writing worked in its favor, they would have went, hey, they're putties and they're Viveks. I heard about those, but no, they didn't know who they were, and they had to have Ryjack explain them, saying, these are putties and these are Viveks. They've been around fighting Rangers for many, many years. So I really did like that little, that writing choice they made, because like I said, they could have had the Rangers automatically knew who they were, because the Rangers know everything most of the time, but no one knew who they were. Even Nate didn't know who these henchmen were, which was really cool. So props to the writing stuff on that. They're definitely building up for the Dino team up special we'll be seeing in a couple of episodes, which is great. So once again, props to the writing for them. So the Rangers get into a fight with Vargoyle, Ryjack, the putties, and the Viveks, and first it's an unmorphed fight, and it's a really good unmorphed fight. I enjoyed it quite a fair bit, because if we're seeing unmorphed fights like this, I am very, very excited to see what they'll do with the upcoming fights with the Dino team up that's going to be airing in the next couple of days. So I'm excited for that. That is definitely for sure, because that is going to be one epic fight, and we see it unmorphed depending on the stunt choreography and stuff like that. So I am really pumped to see what kind of fights we'll be getting with these minions over the next few episodes, because if the putties are showing up and the Viveks are showing up as well, because Ryjack is still around at the end of the episode, spoilers if you're watching this review for the first time before you see the episode, Ryjack gets away, so Ryjack still has his reanimator, so he can probably be the antagonist for the next upcoming episodes if he's going to stick around, which would be really, really interesting. So Ravi and Zoe get hit by Ryjack's horn, which makes the Rangers retreat, because somehow Ravi and Zoe are infected by some weird alien magic or alien blast or something like that, so they have to be in recovery for the rest of the episode due to Sentai footage or something like that. I gotta admit, they really do a good job at mixing the stock footage of the Gavin episode from Go Busters, so props to them. They really knew what they were doing with the editing in this episode. So they find out that they fought the real Ryjack, and they're like, oh no, who do we lock up? And then they go to see Chaku in the space prison, and they give him this little mouth reciprocator thing that helps him breathe on Earth's planet, and then he can speak English now, because when they first find him, he's only making robot beeps and boop noises, which I gotta bring up the best fucking scene in this episode. So they're trying to figure out what that mouthpiece that Gavin has, and Steele's like, oh yeah, you left this cool weapon behind, and Jamie as Steele just goes, pew, 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 and oh, I just lost my shit laughing. Just his delivery of the line fucking broke me in laughter and tears. That Scrozzle moment and this moment with Steele making the pew pew noises is the highlight of the episode, hands down. I mean, forget the fight scenes, forget the Chaku or Gavin showing up. That's what we get. We get Steele going pew pew with a mouthpiece as a weapon. That is the highlight of the episode, and Scrozzle giggling in glee. But those are the top two best moments of this episode, hands down. Argue with me in the comments if you disagree, because I don't think nothing can beat those moments in this episode. So they find out who Chaku is, that he's from space, he's a space policeman, he's hunting down Ryjack, and then Ryjack, or not Ryjack, Vargol is out doing Vargol things, so Chaku and Devon go to stop him while Nate and Steel have their Megazord battle, which is really well paced out and spread out throughout the episode. Like, we don't get a whole 5 minutes dedicated on that Megazord battle. It's like spread out throughout the episode, which is really good because we get a fight in the warehouse between Gavin and Vivix and a bunch of other stuff, which is a really cool fight. Vargol gets away and then they take it to this big open field, which is used in the Sentai footage, and that's a really cool fight scene because it turns into them like kicking Vargol off the bike. Gavin like tackles him off it. Chaku tackles him off it. Really, really crazy. So Chaku and Devon destroy Vargoyle or Neo Vargoyle, whatever you want to call him, and the day is saved. Or is it? Because Ryjack and Evox are still out there plotting their evil schemes. So the day is saved, they go back to Grid Battle Force, everyone's friends again. We do have a Ben and Betty joke where they make this really weird convoluted invention where it's like a scanner, and if you're not wearing a badge, it's gonna make you get wrapped up in string or rope or something like that, and everyone but Ben and Betty get wrapped up at the end of the episode, and Commander Shaw's like, Ben and Betty, I'm very proud of you, and then they all have a laugh and the episode ends. So, fun jokes all around, yay! And that's the end of the episode. So overall, I think it was a really fun episode. I had a lot of fun watching it. I had a lot of fun reviewing and talking about it. There's a lot of things I still have questioned, like the Ranger Vault that's been there for 20 plus episodes and has only been brought up until now because it's going to play a plot device into the Dino team up and the next upcoming episodes because of Ryjack. So it is what it is. I mean, it's there for plot convenience for the Dino team up because it only got brought up like last episode. So it is what it is. It's Power Rangers writing. But I am very excited because Ryjack with his reanimator and his obedience collar is probably going to play into the Dino Team Up special depending on how they use the footage. Now, if you've seen Go Busters versus Kyroga, whatever you want to call it, I can't say Dino Charge's Japanese counterpart in English, but if you've seen that special or that movie, you kind of know what the footage is about and how they bring back some old villains. So with that reanimator, it's definitely a good plot device to bring back those characters, to use the suits and the Sentai footage. So props to the writer for thinking ahead with a device like that. Yes, it's sort of like an arse pull for the villains to have to bring back old foes, but it's a nice little cameo. And like I said, I really enjoyed parts like where the Rangers didn't know who the putties were and who the Vivix were. So who knows what else they're going to be surprised at seeing in this episode with whatever gets reanimated, because like I said, that Ranger Vault and the Dino Team Up special coming in a couple of episodes, things are going to get big. Things are going to get really, really big. So I'm excited to see what happens next in Power Ranger Beast Morphers. But anyway guys, that's a review of Power Ranger Beast Morphers episode 10/episode 11. Tell me what you guys thought of the episode in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear your opinions. Anyway guys, don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you're brand new here and you're here for the very first time and you like what you see, because it really helps me out. Puts my video in the algorithm so more Power Ranger fans can see it and people can enjoy my content. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Peace out. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.